Today, I won't be very long, but I want to talk about this, leading by example, right? Leading by example. And, growing up, if your parents are anything like mine, every once in a while you'll get that line, do as I say, not as I do, right? How many of us have said that to our own kids when our kids, kind of call us out on our hypocrisy? But Daddy, you said that, but you're doing this. Well, don't look at what I'm doing. Just obey what I say, right? We all do that. And, but as you get mature and you get in leadership positions and it really counts, you learn that leadership, right, is by action and by example. That's the best way. People may doubt what you say, right, but they will believe what you do. Even what I say here, right? I can get here and tell you how important nutrition is, but I make it a point to get out there in my driveway on Fridays and show you I'm doing it, right? These don't come easy, right? In relationship and spirituality, people only believe a little bit of what you say, but it's about what you do, and it's the light that you shine. It's your light that draws men, right? And people. Leadership is not about position or title. Leadership is about action. Leadership is about example. The world is changed by your example, not your opinion. Anybody can have an opinion, right? Anybody can have a viewpoint. That's easy, right? But can anybody go out and do it and create their own path and leave a trail, right? And so I want to tell you a quick story. That's from the 1930s in India, right? And this mother had a young son who loved to eat, and he was addicted to sugar. And we all know too much sugar is bad. Some people say sugar is the devil. But he loved his sweets, loved his sugar, and it was getting to the point where it was dangerous. He was just eating sugar all day, And I got a sugar too, so I understand, but I also know where my limits are, right? So this was the day of Gandhi. So his mom said, we're going to take you to Gandhi, the great leader, and we're going to see if he can get through to you. So they trekked miles and miles, I'm talking hours and hours, to Gandhi, to this leader, so that Gandhi could tell this mother's son to get off that sugar. And sometimes, that's the truth. Sometimes familiarity breeds contempt. Sometimes, you're saying the things to your kids and they're not listening, but if this entertainer over here says it, they've got their full attention. So there was that kind of dynamic going on, right? So they trekked, and finally they went to the place where Gandhi was usually hanging out at. Everybody knew you could find Gandhi there. So they went to that location. And the mother asked Gandhi to tell this boy, tell him the sugar is bad and not good for his health. He will respect you, Gandhi. And Gandhi said to the woman, I cannot tell your son that. Please come back in 4 weeks and I'll talk to him then. Right? Come back. You got to come back. I can't tell him that. And the mother was surprised, like, imagine I didn't come miles. We didn't walk hours to get to you, and you gonna tell me to go back home? You can't talk to me right now, but you can talk to me in 4 weeks? Well, with nothing else to do, they returned home. And 4 weeks later, they came to Gandhi again. And Gandhi remembered the woman and her son, and she repeated her whole thing. Tell him that sugar is bad, and he needs to stop. He will listen to you. And so Gandhi said, boy, you should stop eating that sugar. It's not good for your health. And the boy nodded and promised that he would stop eating sugar because it was Gandhi who said it. And the mom got a little upset, like couldn't you have told him this 4 weeks ago? We wasted all that time and that trip, and you simply, I told you he would listen, but couldn't you do it 4 weeks ago? Why now? Why this time? And Gandhi smiled and said back to the mom, he said, woman, 4 weeks ago, I was eating sugar. And of course, he didn't say it like that. I brought it to my own voice and stuff like that. But he said, I couldn't tell your son anything 4 weeks ago because 4 weeks ago, I was eating sugar. And that's how it is, right? Your inner reflects your outer. And even if you think you can go in leading and doing things, but if you are not right in whatever you're trying to do and you're not in alignment, right? Things just won't happen. People won't hear it. They won't listen, right? So you got to make sure you're in alignment. alignment with what you're trying to get across and who you're trying to lead, right? Because people aren't dumb, right? They know when you're doing it, and they won't believe your words like that quote says, but they will believe your action and they will believe your example, right? And so that's the message today. Lead by example. I'm telling you, when you are an example, you don't even really have to open up your mouth. When you are an example, you don't have to fight for the attention in the room, right? People, right? I've been in some rooms and I've been very quiet, and the facilitator will look and say, Jermaine, what do you think, right? I don't even have to sit there fighting for the attention. And then I get the floor and I can say whatever I think in that situation, right? And that's how it is. But some people, they're fighting to be heard, they're fighting to lead, they're fighting to say stuff, right? But when it comes time to get to the bat, right, and swing, right, they're not doing that. So remember, faith without works is dead, and you do have to act, right? You've got to plan, you've got to do, you've got to check, you've got to act. That's how this thing works, right? And some of us, we go and we figure things out, right? And then we become an example, a role model for other people that may not have the path totally clear ahead, right? And they can follow your path. Right? Ralph Waldo Emerson said, don't go where the path may lead, but go where there is no path and leave a trail. And that's what some of us will do, those willing to actually go down the path, not theorize about the path, not talk about the path, but actually go and live that path, right? Go and be that example, right? We can complain about the young people, well, but give them an alternative. Give them an alternative. Oh, the millennials are this. Well, are you giving them an alternative to look up to? Right? Because they're whatever the answers they have in front of them, they've weighed the pros and the cons, and they've chosen what they think is the best. But if we lead by example, we can give them an alternative if that is your argument or that's your position, right? So lead by example. And that's the quick and easy message today.